Stomp-A-Trons of Invincible Wrath was released in April 2005. This set marked the transition from the Beginner's block to the Fighting Spirit Saga block. Being the first set of the new block, Stomp-A-Trons contains 120 cards rather than the usual 60, and it includes a few reprints from the base set. It also introduced the tap ability, in which a creature can be tapped to activate its tap effect instead of attacking. Notable cards in this set include the Invincible spells, Crazed Valkyrie the Drastic, Energy Stream, Thrash Crawler, Pyrofighter Magnus, and one of the most iconic Duel Masters cards of all time, Garabon the Volmedia Steel Dragon. In this series, both Michael Swartz and myself will be opening 24 booster packs, or one box, of a core Duel Masters booster set. We will build a deck and play a best 2 out of 3, and the winner will receive a small prize to upgrade their deck. However, in each new episode, we will open another box of the next set that was released, moving in chronological order, constantly upgrading our decks before dueling each other at the end of the episode. This is the Duel Masters Progression Series. I finally did it! I'm back in the winner's circle, let's go! I get to spin the wheel for the first time since literally episode 1? Let's see what we could get. I hope it's something good. There's honestly not that much that's gonna help me, but at least I kept Michael off the wheel because he doesn't have any Aqua Surfers, so I'm looking really good on shield trigger creatures. Let's see what we can get. Please be something good. Can we get something just like insane? I don't even know what I want. Probably the packs is the best. Oh, a rare? I'm pretty happy with that. Let's see what rares we can get. So the 2 cards I'm most interested in the rare slot is Glory Snow and Brutal Charge. Glory Snow is an interesting one because it lets me ramp up with light cards, and my light section is probably my best, which makes it really attractive. Meanwhile, Brutal Charge is a civilization where I don't have that much that I really would be using in the future, I don't think. But it's a pretty strong card overall that could come in handy later if I try to play something more aggressive. I'm gonna pick up copy number 2 of Brutal Charge.
Hey everyone, we're back again with episode 6 of the Progression Series. Unfortunately, last week, Ben was able to get the better of us with an admittedly pretty sweet 4-color deck that he had brewed up. However, this week we're looking to take the winner's circle right back for ourselves. So today we get to open 24 booster packs of the newest set, Stomp-A-Trons of Invincible Wrath, and we're actually looking for quite a lot from this set, to be quite honest. The 2 most notable cards that we're looking for are 2 really powerful fire finishers that get introduced in this set, Volmedia Steel Dragon in the super rare slot, and Bazagaziel Dragon in the rare slot. If we can pull 1 to 2 copies of those, we're probably going to be running back a similar deck last week, in the hopes that with the improvement we can come through this week. If we don't pull those, maybe we'll have to go back to the drawing board a bit, but we'll see what happens. There's also actually a lot of archetype staples in the common and uncommon slots in this set that we're also going to be looking for, most notably Energy Stream for control decks and Pyrofighter Magnus for rush decks. Unfortunately, this set is actually twice as large as the last few sets, so even in the common slot, there's no guarantees we're going to be pulling anything we need from here.
The number 1 card I want to see, Garabon the Glider. Can I get a play set? I hope so. Stomp-A-Trons of Invincible Wrath. Pack number 1, Garabon the Glider. We did it. Already in pack 1. What more can you ask for?
And in the first pack here, there's actually a few things here. Here's the first copy of Pyrofighter Magnus. We also have 1 copy of Thrash Crawler, which is a blocker that can take a card from your mana zone and put it into your hand. This saw a lot of play in control decks, just as a blocker and as a pseudo tutor that can pull a card up out of your mana zone. So this card's pretty good.
Factory Shell Q. This is kind of an interesting one. When you put it into the battle zone, you can search your deck, take a survivor, and add it to your hand. That's actually pretty good because if you have it on board and you can start summoning low-cost survivors, you're able to just swarm the field so quickly. I doubt I'll ever be able to pull off a good survivor deck unless the pulls are insane, but it's nice to have just in case.
Okay, and in the second pack, we've actually got quite a bit here too. Second copy of Pyrofighter Magnus, and we also have Q-Tronic Gargantua in the rare slot. This is basically a survivor evolution that's a finisher that lets you break basically all of your opponent's shields at once if you've got a big field of survivors. I don't really think survivors are going to be playable, but if they are, this card is going to be one of the reasons. It's quite powerful.
I forgot to mention, we have Energy Stream in this set. That is a sick card that's going to be in any water deck, probably as a 4 of, or as many as you get. This is another one of those cards you do not want to get scammed on in the Progression Series. You want to get a lot of those. So I hope I can pick up a few more. We're 7 packs in, still not that much exciting. No hollows yet, really.
All right. This is going pretty well so far, if I have to say for myself. First copy of Bazgaziel Dragon in the 3rd pack already. This is pretty insane. The reason this card is good, it's a speed attacker that can attack untapped creatures, and at the end of your turn, it returns to your hand, which means it's protected from the opponent's removal. So this is basically like a reusable removal spell that you can play over and over every turn and just take over the game. Really solid card, glad to see it here.
Invincible Abyss is the first holo. Not what you want to see. Destroy all your opponent's creatures. It's a good effect, but you're never really going to play it, and it's just not worth it because the mana is too high.
Alright, and here we have what I believe is our first super rare. We have Ultramantis Scourge of Fate. It's a decent giant insect evolution. I don't really think we're going to be playing giant insects, but it is a card and it is a super rare, so that's neat. We also have Comet Missile, which is a nice pickup for rush decks.
Lou Gillis Silver Rift Guardian. I actually wanted to pick this up. Evolution creatures are put into the battle zone tapped, so it will help deal with Crystal Lancers and stuff like that. It's not amazing in terms of its power, but it's a guardian, so it's got a good race, and it is strong enough to not get hit by Searing Wave, so it's not too bad.
Alright, pack 7, we have a very rare, and it's Invincible Abyss, the first card we have in the series of invincible spells in this pack. There's one in every civilization, and they're all titled Invincible something. They have an extremely powerful effect, such as here, destroy all your opponent's creatures. And here's the kicker, they all cost 13 mana. And because they all cost 13 mana, they're all completely and utterly unplayable.
The first super rare, Lava Walker Executo. 4 mana, evolution to Dragonoids. I don't think I have that many good Dragonoids. I don't think they even exist. But your fire creatures can tap to give someone else extra power. I just don't think it's good. I much rather would have seen any other super rare, to be honest. I would have much rather seen Crazed Valkyrie or like Bomedius, but instead we get this. It's not going to be good.
In the rare slot here, we have Rikabu's Screwdriver. This is not a bad card for Fire Rush either. It basically lets us destroy blockers every turn, and it's just a really cheap creature that we can attack with if we need to. We actually have what I believe also is the first copy of Energy Stream, so that's really good, and I think this completes the playset of Pyrofighter Magnus, so great pack all around here. Well, we have another Invincible spell here. This effect is quite good, maybe the best of all of them, but still, the 13 mana just means this is never going to see play.
Arcbind number 2, don't mind seeing that. We are picking up a Pyrofighter. It's kind of scary that I'm only seeing one so far. We're halfway through the polls, and we just don't really have that much useful. I do have this Shock Hurricane, though, which we might be playing. I have some ideas, but we gotta get some good polls.
And we have another super rare here, Phantasmal Horror Gigazeld. I don't think this ever saw play in Constructed, but the effect is decently good. It's an evolution, and it lets us, like, discard a ton of cards from our opponent's hand. I don't really think we're going to be playing this, but there maybe is the potential there.
Rikabu's Screwdriver, actually pretty great for rush decks. You can use its tap ability to destroy a blocker. Very powerful, and it's also just a weenie that can attack early if you need it.
Alright, here we have a very rare, which is Tank Mutant. This is actually a bit of an interesting one. So it is 9 mana, but it has a tap ability, which lets us destroy a creature every turn, basically. This was pretty much unplayable and Constructed because of cards like Corile, but this might actually be something we could consider in this limited format, where Ben only has limited removal options. Is it enough to play it? I don't really think so, but we're definitely going to keep this in mind and be thinking about this.
Invincible Abyss number 2, give me some better hollows!
Second Rikabu's Screwdriver and another Phantom Dragon's Flame. Pretty good pack here.
Rain of Arrows is actually pretty cool. Look at your opponent's hand. Discard all darkness spells. Really useful to get rid of Lost Souls. I might have to play that. That sounds pretty good, actually. Pyrofighter Magnus picking up another one. Like to see that. We're starting to get towards the end of these polls. And yeah, I mean, we're getting the Rickaboos. But we just don't have that much that's going to be impactful, to be honest. Alright, that's going to be a playset of Garabons. Mystic Treasure Chest. You get to search your deck for a non-nature creature and put it into your mana zone. I don't think it's that great.
And the third invincible spell, this one is just as bad as all of the other ones. Armored Decimator Valkaiser is an interesting evolution creature for aggressive decks. Something else that might be useful to keep in mind.
Yikes, this has got to be the worst opening so far in terms of just like hollows. I hope we can turn it around in the end because right now it is just ugly.
And here we have Qtronic Hypermind in the super rare slot. This is another one of these Survivor evolutions. This one lets us like draw a bunch of cards. It's probably not actually as useful as the other Crew Breaker one that we got earlier, but this card could also be decent if Survivors are playable.
Invincible Aura. Add the top 3 cards of your deck to your shields face down. It's not good. I like Bonds of Justice though. It's like a pseudo Holy Awe, especially if I'm playing a lot of blockers in a light deck. Tap each creature in the battle zone that doesn't have blocker. If your opponent's attacking you and you shield trigger it, it essentially works as a Holy Awe because you get to untap at the start of your turn and then attack them back. However, on offense, it doesn't really work out as well because all your non-blockers are going to get tapped too and then they can't attack. But if you're playing a lot of light blockers anyways, it's probably not the end of the world.
Final pack here. Okay, nothing here. That's quite unfortunate. All in all, this wasn't the worst pack opening here. We didn't get everything we wanted, but we did get some of the things we wanted.
The last pack Magic, I really would like to see a Craze Valkyrie, and we get absolute Garbanzo Beans. Not the best opening, but we're gonna see what we can do and make it work. Let's put it into OCTGN and see what we can build.
Okay, so here's the deck we're taking to today's episode, and yep, we are on Darkwater Fire Control again. I think this deck is robust enough that it should be pretty well positioned, even if Ben decides to switch things up this week. We are on a bit of a different build of Darkwater Fire Control than we were last week, so I guess I'll just briefly explain the general philosophy behind those changes. So I think something that was revealed in last week's games is that if possible, we want to be moving away from cards that are dependent on other cards in order to be good. And so specifically what I'm talking about with that, the last build of this deck that I was running had 3 Liquid People evolutions and 3 Illusionary Merfolks. And so those are all cards that do nothing if we don't have a particular race of creature already in the battle zone. I think trying to juggle all of those things together in order for our deck to function was just making things a bit difficult for us and holding our deck back unnecessarily. So anyways, now let me just go through the card by card and explain some of the new cards and changes here. To Emerald, since we moved a bit off of Illusionary Merfolk, we don't need quite as many Cyberlords. However, even on its own merit, Emerald's still quite a good card, especially against rush decks, and so we do still have 2 of them here. 2 Spiral Gate, 1 Crimson Hammer. This is an old card that we're now newly running in this build of the deck. We have 1 Dark Reversal, which is a 2-mana dark spell that lets us return a creature from our graveyard to our hand. The general reason why we're running this card here, so if you look, we have a 1 of Illusionary Merfolk and a 1 of Bazagaziel Dragon. These are both extremely powerful creatures that we're only running 1 of, and so because we only have them as singletons, we want to maximize our chances of actually being able to use those powerful effects. And so in order to do that, we want to basically be running as many different tutor effects as possible. And this is one piece of that, I guess. So that's why we're on the 1 Dark Reversal now. Next, we have some early blockers, 3 Bloody Squeedo, 1 Phantom Fish. The fact that Phantom Fish has 4,000 power is actually reasonably important now because Pyrofighter Magnus is introduced in this set, and 4,000 is enough that it won't die to Pyrofighter Magnus. We'd actually probably want to be running more copies of Phantom Fish, but strangely enough, we only have 1 of these. Next, 4 Aqua Hulkus, and then 1 of Energy Stream. This is a card from the new set that I really would have wanted to pull more than 1 of, but we only have 1, unfortunately. but this is just a really good staple card draw spell. If we had more copies of this, we could maybe move off of Illusionary Merfolk entirely, but unfortunately it is what it is. 2 Phantom Dragon's Flame. This is another card from the new set. It's basically like Crimson Hammer, but it has shield trigger and costs 1 more mana. 4 Locomotiver, 2 Brain Serum, 1 Crystal Memory. This is all stuff we had before. Next, we have a card from the new set, Thrash Crawler, which we're running 3 of, and this is just a really solid all-around card in a bunch of different roles. First off, it's a big blocker, which means it gets mileage against the aggressive decks. And if we're not against an aggressive deck, it actually has an interesting effect that lets it be quite useful. Early in the game, say we've thrown all of our big expensive cards into our mana zone so that we can make sure that we have our early plays. What Thrash Crawler then lets us do, this can come down in the mid to late game and let us pick big powerful cards back up and actually let us use their effects anyways. Next, some old stuff, 2 Death Smoke, 4 Chlorile. We do still have 1 Illusionary Merfolk because without it, I felt like the deck just didn't have all the card draw that it needed. 2 Tornado Flame, 4 Searing Wave, 2 Burst Shot, 2 Terror Pit, 2 Lost Soul, and then the new cards at the top end here. We have moved away from the Liquid People evolutions as our finishers, and we're opting to run 2 Twin Cannon Sky Terror, which you saw from Ben last week, and then 1 new card, Bazagaziel Dragon. It's a speed attacker, it's a double breaker, it can attack untapped creatures, and at the end of the turn you return it to your hand. And the fact that it's a speed attacker and double breaker means that it can act as a finisher, but it can also be used as a removal spell effectively turn after turn. And so in control mirrors, this thing can come down, kill Ben's creatures one at a time, and then eventually we'll just take over the game and then finish him off one way or another. And then lastly, we have King Mazelon. This card's not very good, but I felt that we did just want 1 more double breaking body in our deck at the top end, and this card was the best that I could find. And it has a decent come into play effect. Not the best card, and I'm hoping to replace this in future episodes, but we are running it for today, and we'll see how it goes. I will say, if Ben is running the same list that he was last week, I think we can win, but I'm not sure it's the most favorable matchup we could possibly get. I do believe in the ability of this deck to win against Ben. If Ben beats us again this week, then maybe we'll need to go back to the drawing board and try one of the other deck lists that I've been testing out. However, for now, I do believe this is our best chance to win this week.
This is the deck I will be bringing to today's duel. I wanted to mix it up and pull something new because this is Stomp-A-Trons of Invincible Wrath. There's so many good cards in this deck that could completely influence what deck I'm going to be up against this week, all depending on what Michael pulls. But at the same time, Stomp-A-Trons is one of those sets where it's so many cards that you could get like really good rush stuff, you could get really good control stuff, you could get really good tempo-y stuff. So what is Michael going to play this week? I have absolutely no idea, so I wanted to come in, switch up my deck to something new while playing something that's going to be consistent no matter what I'm up against. So what I will be playing is Hydro Hurricane Control. Normally I would go through a card by card when I'm showing my deck, but I think this deck is more of a cohesive, like every card is in here for a purpose that builds to a greater strategy. So I think I'm just going to talk a little bit about this greater strategy. The whole deck revolves around this card from Shadow Clash of Blinding Night, Hydro Hurricane. This is a 6-cost water spell that when you play it, you can bounce a ton of stuff on your opponent's side of the field. For each light creature you have in the battle zone, you bounce an opponent's mana, and for each darkness creature you have in the battle zone, you bounce an opponent's creature. Now, the key to winning with this deck is build up a gigantic board of a lot of low-cost light and darkness creatures, play Hydro Hurricane, and then either attack for the win when they don't have any mana to respond on their next turn, or on your next turn you can follow it up with Lost Soul, and just discard out their hand. So, ideally, this is how the progression of this deck is going to go. So against a rush deck, obviously I have a lot of blockers in this deck. This is one of the biggest blocker lineups I've ever played. And the reason for that is because in these rush matchups, I can just put out all these blockers, survive until the mid game, and then just blow them out of the water because all my mid game stuff is going to be way more powerful than anything a rush deck could throw at me. Then by the time a mid game rolls around, I've got Psy-Force, they can't stop it, and then you play Hydro Hurricane and just end the game. Against a control deck, it's a little bit different. I'm just going to be playing a lot of stuff to mana and not summoning anything, because I just want to hold on to my hand until it's time. I could be playing out like low drop blockers early, but against a control deck that's not going to be attacking me anyways, I'd rather just hold them in my hand until I have Mr. Sonic Guardian on the field. So around turn 6, I want to be playing Mr. Sonic Guardian, follow it up with a 1-cost light blocker, and this will let me draw a card. Now on my next turns, I can start just playing blocker after blocker, drawing card after card, and just putting down, now finally, get all these little low-cost guys on the board. Then I can follow it up with Hydro Hurricane and win the game from there. So for our low drop blockers, we're playing a lot of 1-drops. However, these are all weak to Searing Wave and Burst Shot, so I also wanted to include more cards that have more power. So Bloody Squeedo, Senatine Jade Tree, Canisil the Explorer, and Thrash Crawler are all going to be safe from mass removal. Mystery Sonic Guardian, absolute key card in the deck, and is pretty much the only reason this deck can function. Falaiga Dawn Guardian is really good because a lot of the power in this deck comes from the spells, and that's just going to let me recycle it and play things multiple times. Forbo Sanctum Guardian Q is kind of similar to Falaiga, but instead of going from my graveyard, I get to search my deck. This is pretty good because I can play this on turn 6, search out Lost Soul, and then play that, and that's going to be really good against control decks. And also it's just 4,000 power, which is pretty decent. 3 copies of Aqua Surfer, it's a little bit less than last week, but I'm pretty happy with 3 of them. I think it's enough with this deck because I've got so many blockers that I'm not really that worried about aggressive decks anyways, but it's just a super strong card and good target temporary removal anyways. 2 Psyforce, it's the strongest card I have in the deck. One of the big issues, this is what I wanted to talk about with this deck, is that I'm really vulnerable to mass removal. 15 out of 19 of my cards that can attack players die to Burst Shot. That's a little scary, so I wanted to just make sure I had something else that can do something, and that's why I have the Psyforce. On top of that, it's going to let me get cards back from my mana zone. For the spell lineup, Energy Stream, I wanted to get a lot of draw power early, so I was like, let's play as many as I got, and I only have 1. So what's the next best thing? Of course, Brain Serum. It's just 1 more mana and it's a shield trigger. What's not to love? I only pulled 1 of those as well, so we're running with a Crystal Memory, and that's kind of like the main spell draw power that we can start building advantage with early before the Mist Riaz hits the ground. And of course, my final lineup is my Hydro Hurricanes and Lost Souls. Ideally, when I'm playing Hydro Hurricane, I'm gonna bounce like at least 4 mana and like 3 creatures. So now they've got like this 7-card hand or more if they were already holding cards. But now that they don't have a field and they don't have mana to hit me with anything on their next turn, I have no reason not to just swing at every shield that I can. Even if I don't win the game, now they're sitting at what, like a 15-card hand, but they can't do anything because they have no mana. So on their turn, they just like put mana, pass, and then I Lost Soul. It doesn't matter what shields they get. You cannot come back from that. This card is just end the game, the card. If I can get decent Hydro Hurricanes, it's just done. That's all that matters. That's why this deck is really consistent. It doesn't really matter what my opponent is doing. As long as I'm building up my field, Hydro Hurricane is just going to win the game in the late game. There is 2 different decks that I'm most worried about. Number 1 is if he pulls 4 Rickaboo Screwdrivers and plays a rush deck with Rickaboo Screwdriver, I am just absolutely boned because most of my deck that's important is blockers, and I won't be able to build up a field to do anything to stop a rush if he's doing that. And I don't really have the spells that can remove little weenie stuff. I don't have Searing Waves. I don't have Burst Shots. So Rickaboo's Screwdriver is a big issue. The second big issue, as I talked about before, is just mass removal, but I do have ways to get around it, and the deck is kind of built a little bit better to handle it because I've got 4K power blockers, I've got a few other stronger attackers, and I can just discard it, hopefully, and it shouldn't matter. With that being said, it's time to duel. So how are you feeling today? Are you feeling invincible? Because I feel like I'm gonna stomp you.
To be totally honest, no, but that's okay.
All right, well,
we will see what happens.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
I was testing like 5 different decks, and I have no idea which one was the right call, basically.
Yeah, I made like probably close to 5 different decks for this episode too, so we'll see which one ends up being worth it or not. I guess let's just start by rolling this dice.
All right, here
I
goes.
got a 10. No, you got a 20.
I'm so good.
Oh my god,
Okay, the
alright.
Master Die Roller.
Yeah, you get to choose. That's all good.
How many cards are you running here? Let me take a quick look-see. 40 exactly.
40
Okay.
exactly. What do you got? You got 50.
That scares me a bit.
Alright, alright.
I guess?
I feel like
we'll go first.
I feel like in general, you
Oh
tend to play like the
my
bigger decks, and I tend to go for like the slim, consistent, like, there's a word in there.
I said I was testing 5 decks, and only one of them was not 40 cards.
Oh my gosh,
the
and it's the
record.
one. Alright.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see what it is. There, like with Stomp-A-Trons, there is so much stuff you could have gotten, and like we just don't know each other's polls, so like it could be anything. Right.
I've seen better hands in my day. I'm not going to lie. I guess we're gonna send a card to mana that I bet you never expected to see in a million years.
Oh no! What the heck is this? Okay, are we gonna see a legendary Binor today?
It did pull 2 legendary Binor.
Oh my god, I don't even know what to think anymore. Well then, this just made things interesting. We're in a situation here where like, I had a good feeling that I was gonna be put in this situation turn 1, where I could play something to mana that like, it kind of gives everything away, or I could play something else to mana that like keeps it in the dark a little bit. You know what I mean? So like, is it worth it for me to do the right play, which is the one that puts it to mana and gives it away? Or I could do the other play, put something else into mana and just keep you on your toes for a little bit more.
I mean, you're the one who has to make that call. I don't know.
Yeah, I have to make that call, but you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna play a new card to mana, actually.
Okay.
I'm gonna put Thrash Crawler down.
Thrash Crawler is a good one. I will say, when you're looking at my hand and you realize that, like, oh, well, okay, I drew something I can play ever. Alright, we'll just throw Lost Soul to mana, go ahead.
Alright, so I see blue, I see black, I see 50 cards. I think I have an idea where this deck is going based on, like, the past experiences of this progression series.
It's a mystery. I've got King Mazelon in there.
It could be anything. I mean, it doesn't necessarily have to be Dark Water Fire, but I mean, I feel like I'm pretty comfortable putting you on just like something that's controlling right now.
So I mean, regardless, when you see the Lost Soul and other random 8-drop.
Yeah. Well, I think just based on seeing that and the fact that you haven't played anything yet, I don't think I need these blockers anytime soon, so I'm just gonna keep putting up the mana and ending my turn.
Right, well, we will finally play something. There's the fire, and we'll play Aqua Hulkus.
Okay, alright, so then we do have the fire, we got the dark, we got the water, we got the Aqua Hulkus. I'll draw a card.
We've seen this all before, right?
Yeah,
except King Mazelon. And we haven't seen it for good reason.
Alright, well, which one should I put to mana? Yeah, I mean, whatever. I'll put the Terror Pit to mana.
Oh, we've got another one of these pickles of what do we want to send to the mana zone.
Yeah, that's the pickle of this game.
I guess Chlorile is fine.
It's not particularly useful when I don't have anything on my board.
We'll play Locomotiver.
Oh, by Marrow Ooze the Twister.
Okay, I didn't see that one coming. You wanted to hold on to that one. Now I'm just confused. I don't think there's a Living Dead evolution, but I don't know. Go ahead, though.
See, this is the strategy of you just keep holding the Marrow Ooze because then your stuff is safer from Locomotiver.
I mean, if you want to run a card that just dilutes your deck with bad cards, so Locomotiver is worse, feel free.
Alright, you've got 3 things on board, and I don't know, I don't trust you, so I'm actually gonna finally just run out a little blocker, and I'll end my turn. Get a little bit of presence on the field.
So I get the feeling you're running like Hydro Hurricane and Marinomancer here. Could be anything. I guess we'll get another look-see at something.
Okay.
We'll run out another
Oh my
Locomotiver.
god! My other Marrow Ooze the Twister!
Oh my god, Marrow Ooze the Twister is broken.
Dude, I told you this card's good. You just discard it out with Locomotiver every time.
Alright, well, go ahead.
What more could you ask for in a card? Alright, well, I mean, at this point, you've already said it, so it's fine. I'll just play the Hydro Hurricane to mana.
Okay.
It completely gives it away. Then I'm gonna run out Mysterias, and I will end the turn.
If you've got another Hydro Hurricane, that's going to bounce 2 from my mana zone, I think, if I'm reading this correctly, right? Yeah.
Yeah, if I played it on my next turn, then it would bounce 2 from your mana.
Got another weird pickle here.
You've got 5 mana.
Yeah, you'll know what the pickle was after I play, no matter what.
I get the feeling like, well, no, okay, never mind.
I'm trying to figure out how urgently I want to deal with this mystery as Sonic Guardian, and I think the answer is I just ignore it for right now. So we're gonna send Thrash Crawler to mana.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
Yeah, and then that's it from me. What I was thinking about was like playing Thrash Crawler and picking up Tornado Flame or Death Smoke, I guess.
Ah, that makes sense.
But yeah, not worth it.
I kind of figured you would maybe be waiting because you might be holding a Lost Soul, because you did play a Lost Soul to mana pretty early on a deck that went first. So to be honest, if I'm assuming I'm just gonna get discarded out, I really don't care about this Crystal Memory. You can go ahead.
Alright.
I could search something just for it to go to the graveyard. I'll pass on that.
Oh, that.
And if you want to Lost Soul my 1-card hand, then be my guest.
We're actually just going to get the Mysterias out of here now. That was off the top, as you can probably guess.
Yep.
But go ahead.
Well, that was off the top, and this was off the top.
Okay, I mean, sometimes, not everything goes the way you want. I guess this is better than you drawing 2 cards every creature, though.
Yeah. If I start drawing 2 cards every creature, it gets ugly fast.
Well, a Brain Serum.
Okay.
And then that's it for me. Go ahead.
Alright. I'm gonna play mana, and I'm gonna hit you with the first Lost Soul of the series.
Okay. That is
I like getting a 4-card
unfortunate.
hand, so we're looking at what? Aqua Hulkus, Tornado Flame, Lost Soul, figured, and a Twin Cannon. That is not bad. You can go ahead.
Oh, well, I'm not gonna complain about this top deck either. Get
my god!
Mysterias out of here.
Yeah, Crimson Hammer's pretty good against that card.
Now, I mean, we know what this is. We're just top decking.
Yeah. Alright. I'm just gonna pass.
Oh boy, here we go. Me too.
Top deck Gothams. Who's gonna get something first? Oh, I got something pretty good. Let's,
Third Mysterias.
No, it's 3 for an Energy Stream, a new card.
Energy Stream, okay.
I feel like you've been playing 2 Lost Souls the whole time, so I'm not really worried about that. You can go ahead. But I guess you can get it back from your mana zone now with Thrash Crawler. That's a cool card.
Indeed I can. Yeah, I think we want to just start pressure on now. And you also don't seem to be on board wipes this time around, which is good for me.
Oh, Dark Reversal.
I haven't been running that before. I am now, though. But anyway, we'll play out the Twin Cannon Sky Terror.
Okay.
And Twin Cannon is going to go in at 2 shields here.
Sure, 1 and 2?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to take it.
Alright.
And I'm going to shield trigger Brain Serum.
Oh jeez, you're drawing all the cards. I think like I could get you down to 2 shields, but I have to sacrifice 2 creatures to do it probably. So yeah, go ahead.
Alright. Let's draw. Let's see what we can do here. Aqua Surfer's a little slow for my liking right now.
Like, you've got bounce, but you only have one way to actually deal with this, as far as I know, in these colors. I don't know.
I'm gonna tap 5 for Mysterious.
Okay.
I'm gonna tap 1 for La Giga, and I'm gonna draw a card.
Okay.
Then I'm gonna end my turn.
Right. Well, start things off an Aqua Hulkus.
Oh, that's not a bad top deck. Oh, I don't like that. Okay.
Are you gonna draw?
I'm gonna draw, yeah.
Okay.
I have no reason not to. I need something.
Oh, this is an interesting one. I don't actually know. No, you've got enough cards in your hand. I really don't think this Miss Riaz is that much of a concern. We're gonna play another new card, Phantom Dragon's Flame, and we're actually gonna hit your blocker out of here.
Okay, that's pretty good.
So one Aqua Hulkus can attack, but Twin Cannon is gonna break 2 shields.
Unfortunately, I am kind of forced to block
Yeah,
that, so
I
will
think you
block
have.
that.
Well, you could play Shield Trigger Gotams instead, but that's probably a bad idea.
Yeah, no, I don't really want to do that right now.
I think if I could get you down to no shields, that's pretty good. So I think we just keep going and hope you don't have a trigger. Unless we'll attack with Locomotiver in case you're running the cheeky Magma Rex or something.
Oh my god, that'd be so funny. You don't see any fire this whole game. Alright, no trigger.
Magma Rex is not the worst splash in the world. Shield 4.
Nothing.
Shield 5.
Nothing.
Alright, I like to see that, and that's all from me.
Alright, well, is there an existing combo that gets me out of this, is the question. And I'm pretty sure the answer is no. Yeah, there is not a card that's gonna get me out of this one. I'm just gonna scoop it up.
Alright.
Before showing you any of my other stuff. Alright, I feel like that was one of the faster games we've had recently.
Yeah. My second choice for my deck this week, if I'd played that, those games would have been real fast.
Oh god.
One way or the other.
Alright, I have to think, do I want to go first or second? I'm gonna go first.
Alright.
Alright, I'm gonna play this to mana because you already know what I'm on this time, so
Yeah.
it's not doing anything fancy.
Alright. I mean, I guess we'll send this to
Oh
mana.
my god!
The only reason I'm running this is just I wanted another double breaker.
Yeah, I mean, there's worse ones out there.
And I didn't know what else to do.
I'm risking it. I'm playing the Marrow Ooze to mana, where you might be able to Locomotiver me, and I won't be safe this time.
I mean, it's a big risk you're taking. Draw. Even know what we want to do here. Yeah, okay. Send the Burst Shot to mana. This is not really the matchup where I need that. And we're gonna play Emerald.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
We will set a shield here and then pick up this other one and then go ahead.
I will draw a card. I will contemplate my life choices. I'll play the La to mana and end my turn.
Alright.
Get the light unlocked.
Oh, I don't think my blockers are super relevant here, so we'll send Bloody Squeedo to mana and end.
Yeah, no, your blockers are not relevant.
Actually, that reminds me, one thing I'm still wondering is, like, you might be playing Diamond Cutter here. I don't really know what's going on.
Yeah, that's why I scooped up my cards before showing you anything else. Because
Like,
realistically, like, you didn't see all that much.
Right.
You've got 4 cards in that hand.
You
I'll play
wouldn't
the
be
Terrapin.
thinking of Locomotivering me, would you? There's
Oh,
no
never.
way you would
I
be
wouldn't do
considering
that.
Oh,
Okay,
there goes
alright.
my Locomotiver.
Yep,
Okay.
that's pretty good. I'd rather hit that than a Marrow Ooze.
Oh, let me send a mana here. God, I hate having to make this choice. I guess there's not really anything in my mana zone I ever want to pick up, so I guess I'm fine sending Thresh Crawler. And we'll play the other Locomotiver off the top.
Oh, my Vest the Oracle.
It's a La or a Giga clone, okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I actually only pulled 2 La Gigas, so I had to dip into my Vest the Oracle pool.
That's fair. I had something similar weird happen when I was building this list, actually. Like some old blocker I wanted to run that I only had 1 of somehow.
Sweeto to mana. And we're gonna get out the Mist Riaz early. Again.
Alright.
I get the feeling I'm gonna get Merfolked, but I feel like if I have Mist Riaz on the board, it at least mitigates that a little bit.
Oh, this is hard. I guess... there any world in which I don't play mana? I don't really think there is. Yeah, okay. We're playing Corile to mana on turn 5.
Yep.
And we'll Death Smoke the Mist Riaz.
Got it.
And yeah, attacking's dumb. Go ahead. I had to like ask myself like the question like, should I attack here? And then I thought about it for all of like half a second. I was just like, no.
No, yeah, that would be like the worst possible thing you could do there. Alright, we're just gonna get this into top deck and Gothams, and I'll play my other Locomotiver and get your Illusionary Merfolk? No, okay.
Actually, my next turn play was Dark, or actually, I guess I only have 1 Darkness mana, but if I draw a Dark card, I could have just Locomotivered your hand away. But, I think we're just gonna send this to mana, actually, and then go ahead.
I feel like you need to build up a little bit. I'm gonna pass.
Right.
These early game Locomotivers have just made this matchup weird. I tested this matchup so much, and this literally never happened, and now it's 2 games in a row. Where just like all the Locomotivers come in.
My favorite way to play this game. I can't wait till we get Cranium Clamp, actually.
Yeah. Go ahead. Cranium Clamp is kind of sick.
Aqua Surfer to mana.
Yeah, another Aqua Surfer to mana. I don't really want to bounce your stuff.
I won't give you a 2-card Lost Soul. We'll send 1 thing to mana.
Yep.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Oh, okay. This I like to see. If you have Lost Soul, now's the time to play it, because we're playing Energy Stream.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Although actually we will follow it up with an Aqua Hulkus.
Yep.
And go ahead.
I mean, to be fair, you can't tell me that you didn't ask for it.
I
was holding the Lost Soul last turn. Oh, Baza, he's insane.
Baza is so good.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm really glad to see that discarded out of your hand, because if I just sat there without anything else on board, if you have Baza and 3 attackers, that's kind of scary.
Oh,
Go ahead.
Oh, we'll pass. Go ahead.
God, what is happening this game? Alright. I don't really want to get 3-card Lost Soul, and I don't want to just get blown out by something dumb, so I will just play a Jade Tree, end of the turn.
Corile off the top. Oh, and this is sort of like a Corile, right?
King Mazalin number 2?
No, actually, I think this is the play here. I was thinking about getting Corile back, but actually, this is not a play I ever expected to be making, but we're gonna play Thrash Crawler, and we're gonna pull up the King Mazalin.
Incredible.
And then go ahead.
Alright, please give me the Locomotiver. I need it. That's not Locomotiver.
Oh God.
I guess I'm just gonna run out another blocker for now.
Oh, bummer. I was actually gonna go in if you didn't run in another blocker.
Well, and yeah, it wasn't worth not having that blocker. Ideally, what I'm supposed to be doing is I'm trying to wait until I can Mist Riaz and then start playing my low drop blockers, but my deck's not giving it to me this game.
I actually think I'm gonna pass. Go ahead. Please don't have Lost. You would have played. No, you probably wouldn't have played Lost Soul last turn.
Yeah, not on a King Mazalin. We're gonna play the Corile.
The one of Corile?
Yeah, the sad one of Corile. I finally play a deck that has him.
Yeah.
And I think I don't want to send Thrash Crawler, because you've got like so many options you could take. I mean, none of them are particularly that strong, but it just gives you options. Aqua Hulkus, you're just gonna draw it back. Locomotiver, you discard me. Emerald, you put your King Mazalin down to the shields. Go ahead. Or whatever that first shield you put down, like you could take back something cracked, which is a little bit scary, but I'm fine with that risk right now.
Now I have to think about this. Could still be on Diamond Cutter here, and like, if you Diamond Cutter me out of nowhere, your board is starting to get a bit spooky.
Yeah.
But it's not, like, it's not lethal yet.
You do have a blocker too with Thresh Crawler.
Yeah.
And you've got that Terror Pit you put down with Emerald.
Yeah, okay. We're gonna send the Emerald a mana.
Okay. And the boy's coming out.
The boy's coming down.
Oh, man. Okay,
Bounce your stupid blocker. This stupid
Why?
targets doesn't work for some reason.
Alright, I got it.
And yeah, I guess we can't attack yet, though. Go ahead.
Let's draw something good. That's not something good. I'm wondering what you got in your hand. Well, this isn't particularly useful right now when I just have a Bloody Squeego.
Justice. I totally forgot about this card. That's fair, though.
It's pretty good when I didn't get Holy Awe.
Yeah, you want your discount Holy Awes. That's not a bad way to do it in a deck running Giga and Marrow Ooze the Twister.
Yep. I think I just, yeah, I'm just gonna run out some blockers.
Alright. I thought you were gonna, like, bounce my entire board with a Hydro Hurricane or something.
No.
I don't know how many of those you have.
Well, I've got one in the mana zone.
We'll pass. Go ahead.
Alright. The King Maslin does not go in.
No, not yet. In some sense, he's exerting pressure, but like with this many blockers, I'm not gonna win anytime soon, and I think I'd just be giving you cards right now.
If I do this, I have a feeling I know exactly what's gonna happen. You did just pass last turn, so I get the feeling you're sitting on a Lost Soul and you didn't want to play it on my one card hand, but I'm just gonna Crystal Memory anyways.
Okay. I mean, you could take out Locomotiver and try and hit the Lost Soul.
It's funny because I actually might do that. Like, there's worse things I could take for sure.
If you want to take La Giga Sky Guardian, feel free.
I could do that, but I could take a Cenotine Jade Tree.
Also, have you run this before? I didn't even know you had
No.
a copy of Crystal Memory.
I never
Okay.
played Blue before. Or I think I played Crystal Memory in the episode 1, I think.
Yeah, maybe. You were playing Blue then, but I don't remember
Yeah.
what you were running at all, other than, like, 4-color stuff.
It's just a one of, unfortunately.
Yeah, same here.
If I do get the Locomotiver, though, and then I discard the Lost Soul and just get Searing Waved right after, that kind of feels a little bit bad.
That's also not the best
But,
thing.
what's worse, that or taking anything else that I can't summon, and then that gets Lost Souled anyways. Like, I could take the Mist Riaz, but I don't have the mana for it. I could take the Hydro Hurricane, but I don't have the mana for it.
Decisions.
I could take the Energy Stream and then just get a bigger hand discarded. Alright, you know what? I hate that this is what I'm doing, but I'm taking it.
Obviously, the viewers know what you took.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, I'm playing it. The Bloody Squeego! No!
Got him. Performing a similar role to Marrow Ooze the Twister.
Dude, that's how these decks work.
Well, fortunately for you, we don't even have a Lost Soul here. Things are getting a wee bit spooky here, so what we're actually gonna do, we're gonna play another Thrash Crawler, and we're gonna take up Burst Shot.
Oh, yeah, that's kind of scary.
And then go ahead.
That's not bad, but, like, it feels bad when you know you're probably getting Burst Shotted next turn. That's 5 of my attackers. I don't know. I mean, I could YOLO ram all my attackers through those Thrash Crawlers, which is pretty funny. If you do end up playing the Burst Shot, you can't do much else on that turn. I'm gonna pay 6 mana for Forbos Sanctum Guardian Cube.
Oh, that is a card.
I'm gonna get.
Lets you tutor for spells, right?
Yeah. So I'm gonna get my Surge on once again.
Survivors.
Yeah. If you have 2, though, they stack, which is kind of sick.
I actually really wanted to run Survivors in this episode, by the way, but my polls wouldn't let me.
Oh.
We got the Brew Breaker this set, and we got Factory Shell this set.
I actually pulled 3 factory shells, but I didn't get the Cube Breaker.
Oh my god! If I got one of the Brew Breaker, but not any Factory Shells. So I was like, this is not worth it at this point.
I will take the Hydro Hurricane.
Okay, well, force it in my hand here. So Hydro Hurricane bounces from mana, and you choose which ones, right?
Yeah, I choose which ones, and I choose your creatures.
So light bounces mana, and darkness bounces creatures, right?
Yep. So, like, I know I'm probably getting burst shotted if I don't attack.
Yeah, I don't really...
So, like, I may as well. We'll go for shield 2.
Sure, we'll take that. A trigger.
Alright, shield 3.
I mean, I guess we'll block that one. I don't think it really matters too much.
Yeah.
I guess I'll force you to attack with the Marrow Ooze if I can.
Yeah, I'll attack with the Marrow Ooze. He's going in.
Shield 3, I assume?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'll take that. Yeah, I guess that's fine.
Okay, Marrow Ooze dies.
There we go.
Locomotiver will go in. We'll just try to get all the value here we can. One. And Corile will get the last one.
Alright.
Go ahead.
Actually, an interesting dilemma here.
I feel like by sacking out 3 of my guys, I almost make it where, like, you burst shouting is now completely pointless.
I actually think I'm not gonna burst shot here.
I mean, the burst shot, in terms of creatures, is a 2 for 2. There's certainly better things you could do.
I mean, so, like, I have to deal with the board somehow, because if I don't, you're Hydro Hurricaneing my blockers. And
yeah, exactly.
But fortunately, I think we have other ways to deal with that threat that are a bit better. We'll put the burst shot back to mana.
Yep. Crisis averted.
And we'll play this nice Lost Soul we've got here.
Yep, that's kind of what I figured.
Hydro Hurricane out of here. King Mazlon will attack Corile.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, I think I was expecting a block there. I guess if you want to preserve the Jade Tree, it makes sense, though. Yeah, that's it from me, then. Go ahead.
I mean, when I'm playing Hydro Hurricane, I tend to value light and darkness creatures ahead of water creatures.
That's fair, actually.
Let's see if I can get a little bit lucky with a Locomotiver. And a Death Smoke is not that bad. And
turns out in this matchup, Death Smoke reads destroy target Misria's Sonic Guardian.
Which I've got 12 cards left in my deck, and I've only seen one of them.
I was holding that Death Smoke for like 10 turns, I swear to God. So in theory, you've got 3 things that can attack. 5 if you have Diamond Cutter, which I still don't know if you do or not. I don't think we can attack yet. Okay, if you rip a Hydro Hurricane or a Diamond Cutter off the top, I'm gonna be very sad. But we're just gonna play Twin Cannon Sky Terror and then end.
Alright, let's draw. This is huge. Oh,
huge,
you're dead! You're dead! I'm tapping 6 for Marrow Ooze the Twister.
Okay, that's a fair play.
Whoa, what did I just do? What did I just do? I set my mana as shields.
Yeah,
I tried to untap that.
6 and 7. I saw what happened.
Wait, okay. My Hydro Hurricane and La are in my mana. This, yeah, yikes. I was trying to retap it, so I actually tapped the darkness mana instead of all of them. All right, there we go. Yeah, and now you can go ahead. I'm not attacking into a Thrash Crawler and another Thrash Crawler to get 1 shield.
There's no way passing the right. Refuse to believe that.
I mean, it's actually possible, knowing the decks, that it might be optimal.
Bonds of Justice is rare. 2 Aqua Surfers are gone in your graveyard. Terror Pit's gone. 3 Aqua Surfers are gone. I guess I hit 1 with Lost Soul or something.
Yeah, that was with the Lost Soul from a couple turns ago.
Like, hypothetically, if I could kill all of your blockers, I have enough creatures to swing for a game if you have no triggers.
Is there a card that exists that you have that would kill all of my blockers at once?
I mean, there's combinations of cards I could have. I can't kill all your blockers this turn, but I'm also thinking, like, 2 to 3 turns ahead.
Yeah, because like you didn't pull a Scarlet Sky Terror, and if you did,
Yeah.
you probably would just slap it down.
Hypothetically, I could do it because like I have Crimson Hammer and Spiral Gate, for example.
Yeah.
Crimson Hammer, Spiral Gate, Death Smoke could do it.
I was thinking like Tornado
I don't have a
Flames.
combination of cards that can actually do that in my hand right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, as awkward as this feels, I think this is the play here. We will Phantom Dragon's Flame, the Marrow Ooze, the Twister.
Yep, that makes
Then
sense.
we will play Locomotiver into an empty hand.
Yep.
And not attacking yet. Go ahead.
Draw. These draws are not helping me very much.
I'm not gonna complain about that.
The one drop blockers 2 turns in a row is just sad. I mean, I can't do anything else.
I don't know. Sitting here on 2 shields really feels like playing with fire to me.
I mean, if I keep drawing 1 drop blockers, you'll be all right. But
Yeah.
I have 10 cards left in my deck, so they gotta be good sometime,
Yeah.
right?
I mean, I would assume, but
That's what I would have thought like
Maybe.
5 turns ago.
I mean, maybe you've just got like chump blockers and Miss Rias to deck yourself out faster. I don't know. Well, I'm still dead to Hydro Hurricane. I'm still dead to Diamond Cutter, which, by the way, I still don't actually know if you're running Diamond Cutter. But I mean, it's not like I could kill you this turn either, and I don't know if I want to give you all these chances to draw them either. Okay, this.
Well, here it goes. What's it gonna be?
This also feels quite bad, but we're gonna. Well, okay, Terrapid did show up.
Yeah, there it is.
It displayed like a weird message on my OCTGN for some reason, but we're actually gonna hit the Cenotine Jade Tree out.
Oh, okay.
And I don't know if this is the right way to play this or not, but I feel like I need to actually be trying to win.
So you just end there?
Yeah.
All right, let's draw. I mean, this helps. We are gonna Energy Stream.
All right.
Well, I mean, this is gonna force something for sure. I'm gonna follow Iga, and I'm gonna take back Hydro Hurricane.
Okay.
So, you gotta do something. I don't know what you're gonna do, but you're gonna do something, I think.
That's true. I am going to do something. Oh man, we've actually got a really interesting choice here, though. This one may be a long thing here.
Alright, no worries. There's so many different things you could do with 3 cards. And it's funny because, like, you know you have to do something.
You have...
And you've got a cracked field, but, like, what are you gonna do with it?
You have 7 cards left in your deck. 3 Aqua Surfers gone. 3 Aqua Surfers, 1 Bonds of Justice, 1 Terrapin. You don't have any more Terrapins. So if we don't go for game, you can already put me to no shields ways with just your board here, right?
Yeah,
Like,
if
you
I
just
want to
need
sacrifice
1
2 guys.
removal spell, or... Yeah, okay. So we're gonna go for game here. So we're gonna Spiral Gate, which blocker? Yes, we Spiral Gate the Bloody Squeedo. And then we Error Pit or a Giga. Just the other card in my hand, by the way, is Lost Soul.
I see. Okay, yep.
Like, I could have also just Lost Souled and hope you don't draw anything. But I think this is what we want to do. I don't think order really matters here. So I guess Twin Cannon Sky Terror will go in at 1 and 2.
I'll just flip them up. I know I have nothing. I search my deck.
Yes. Let's go.
I needed the Hydro Hurricane 1 turn earlier. What was your 6 shield?
My 6 shield was actually nothing, by the
Okay.
way.
I
set
felt
a
like it
bad
was
card.
nothing because of the way you were making your moves.
Yeah. That was
Emerald?
the 6th shield.
Oh
Emerald
my god.
put the other copy of Emerald in my shields. I don't know. This could have been a trigger, though.
So-
What was this? Nope.
I was kind of sad because literally my only shield triggers in the deck that would do anything was the Aqua Surfers and the Bonds of Justice and the Terror Pit, and they were all gone. I'm only playing 3 Aqua Surfers in this deck.
I was I didn't think you really had that many triggers left, but like if I hit one, you would have just won on the spot, obviously.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like yeah, 3 Aqua Surfers were gone, but like even if like you top decking Aqua Surfer also gets me to lose.
Yeah,
so, I would rather take the chance of swinging into your shields and then I win if it's not there.
I also knew what was left in my
around.
I also knew what was left in my deck, and I knew it was just a lot of missed Rias and things that weren't gonna do anything.
Yeah,
and then the last Hydro Hurricane.
This was quite an unfortunate draw sequence you had here, if I'm being totally honest.
I was never able to get a missed Rias, and I never got pretty much anything I needed when I needed it, essentially. Like, you saw how this was going, where I was building up a field, and you were building up a field, and nobody wants to do anything.
Right.
And then usually, the Hydro Hurricane drops. But I just never drew what I needed.
Just, win. Yeah, no, I will say, during deck building and playing, I was kind of, trying to have answers to miss Rias whenever possible, basically. But...
Were you playing any Searing Waves?
Yeah, I was playing 4, actually.
What? I feel like I didn't see a single one.
But yeah, what I was saying, I actually got a bit scammed because I only have 1 energy stream, which is all I pulled.
Yep, I feel like this set is high chance of getting scammed, which, as you can see by my draw engine, I too got scammed.
Did you get scammed on energy stream too?
I did.
Okay, that's fair. Here's the 4 Searing Waves.
Oh my god, there was 4. How many burst shots?
Only 2 burst shots. Okay. Bit of a weird way to organize this, but whatever. Here's my deck.
Yeah, that's pretty solid. Dark Reversal for the first time is kind of interesting.
Yeah, actually, so the reason I decided to run Dark Reversal is a bit... So really, I didn't like that I had this 1 Baza and this 1 Illusionary Merfolk. Dark Reversal kind of gives me more chances to actually use these cards.
That makes sense.
That makes sense.
Yeah, and with the Thrash Crawlers too, you can recycle from Amazon.
You can bet I was expecting my Bazakaziel Dragon to get Lost Souled at some point, and so the ability to Dark Reversal it back, I felt was pretty important.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Really want to stop playing this Merfolk also, by the way, but when you only got 1 energy stream, I needed some more card draw.
Yeah, I think it's definitely worth it.
Actually, I don't even remember what the name of this card was, but there's a card from the new set. It's a 7-mana water card with 4,000 power, and it has a tap effect that's draw 2 cards.
Oh god, yeah.
Inches away from running.
Oh no, it's so bad. I mean, I
guess
in this matchup,
though.
Yeah. Your tap effects are probably good when all I can do is Aqua Surfers and stuff.
But the reason I didn't, I was thinking you might be running something similar to what you had last week, and playing that on turn 7 right as you start slapping down one of your 4 Twin Cannon Sky Terrors is just asking to get blown out.
Yeah, exactly. I had a few other more aggressive decks I wanted to play, but I felt like with Stomp-A-Trons, depending on if you pulled 4 Pyro Fighters and all the Rickaboo Screwdrivers, you could maybe be playing Rush. You could maybe go into some tempo with Energy Stream.
So actually, I had a solid Rush list. Actually, maybe I will hold this up just so you can see what I was working with.
I'll show you mine too. This was, I pulled a playset of Garabons and I needed to just build a deck with it.
I was running Garabon in one of the lists I was testing, actually.
Let's see what you got.
You can look at mine also.
You did get the 4 Pyro Fighters.
Dude, yeah. Pyro Fighter is insane.
Oh my god. Dude, this deck would have probably screwed me up real bad.
No, but so, when I was testing, so, if you were running something similar to what you were running last week, I actually thought that Rush deck was, pretty well positioned.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
If you were switching to, Dark Water Fire or something else I didn't expect, I felt like that could have just been, fighting a way uphill battle. Just
Yeah.
like, we'll go with this, which I think is good against pretty much anything.
That was kind of my theory too with this build. It was good against like anything. I think it would have been really bad against this rush deck though, because it was bad specifically against like multiple Rickaboo screwdrivers and then like having the Comet Missile and Critical
you
Blade
also get
and
screwed
Volcanic
on
Arrows.
Comet Missile? It looks like you did.
Yeah, I think I had just one Comet Missile, unfortunately.
I have the one Comet Missile, but yeah, you can. I was running like Volcanic Arrows and Critical Blade, and the two. We both pulled 2 Rickaboo screwdrivers somehow.
Yeah.
The card's quite good for Rush.
Oh, it's so good. When I play testing it against my deck, it's like, oh, against Rush, like, put out my blockers. And then Rickaboo Screwdriver's like, nope, you can't do that. And like, what else am I going to do? Like, summon a Mr. Riaz on turn 5? Or like my 1 of Core Isle on turn 5? It's like, I'm already dead at that point. Nothing else does anything. I would have had to like get lucky Aqua Surfers or Locomotivers in the shields. But like any other Rush deck that didn't have that, this would just completely shut it down. Any tempo deck, I just get out the 4,000 blockers and they pretty much get stopped. And then against control decks, in theory, I'm supposed to get the Mysterias and then like, all right, 1-drop blocker, draw another 1-drop blocker, like, play that, draw another one, play that, draw, play.
What it looks like the idea is that you didn't really draw the right way to get it to pan out, but like it looks like against control, you almost play more as like a combo deck. Where
yeah. In control, it literally is just a combo deck.
Yeah.
You just play mana until turn 6, and then you hopefully do Mysterias into 1-drop. And then they have to either kill the Mysterias instead of Lost Soul.
Yeah, actually, like... so this is kind of like the Panopter decks from Kaijudo.
Yep, exactly. Very similar. All right, well, next set is like not as exciting as Stomp-A-Trons, I would say. Thunder Charge. I don't know about you, but personally, like from my memory of Duel Masters,
has some, like, don't we get Cryptic Totem in Thunder Charge?
Yeah, so there's like Thunder Charge has really good cards. But in my mind, I always think of it as like a not very exciting set because that was the set that came out when we were going to like the invitation circuits. So we had 2 invitation circuits with that released and a 5 Civ tournament. And I won all 3 of those. So I got the boxes, right?
Oh, I see.
I had so many cards from that set. But like the supers and the varies are just like all garbage. They're just like all unplayable trash.
How that goes.
So like I in my mind, I always hated the set. But in terms of progression series, the rares are like really cracked. So like we're going to just be looking for how many of these rares you can get because we're going to get Cryptic Totem, I believe, Hopeless Vortex, like to hopefully round out me only having 1 Terror Pit.
Yeah, that's good. Like,
and then also Apocalypse Vise.
But yeah, I did know Apocalypse Vise in there, which I'm really going to be looking for.
All right, well, we're going to just wrap it up here then. We'll see you guys next week for Thunder Charge, and we'll see if these cracked rares do anything to our decks. We'll see if Michael switches off of Darkwater Fire, or if I switch to something that wins again.
Just to mix things up, if nothing else.
Yeah, I keep thinking that you're going to switch it up just to switch it up, but then, like, why would you if you're winning almost every match? So, anyways, yeah, we'll just call it there. We'll see you guys next week. Peace.